end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a gold dry. The interest is up and the stock market's down, and you're only getting mugged.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday Night Live, presented by St. Thomas Crew. We're glad to have you on for our third episode. It's an important week. It's Holy Week. It's the last week of Lent. I know it doesn't feel like it for a lot of people, but Easter is still on Sunday. Christ is still going to rise on Sunday, even with all this quarantine, even though the churches are closed. Easter goes on. So we're going to have a great week tomorrow. We got a very, very good lineup. We got Brandon Karana. We got Matt Youssef. They're going to talk to us about Holy Week. Two very experienced, very wise leaders. I know you guys all know and love those two. So they're going to be here talking to us about Holy Week today. We also have our crew montage, our video game montage. We'll have highlights from Pat Dabbich, from Brandon Karana, from me. Those will be in there for you guys. So we're excited to have you on. It's an important week. It's the last week of Lent. I hope we've all prepared ourselves for Christ rising on Sunday. So glad to have you guys along today, and welcome to the show. Welcome to Thursday Night Live, presented by St. Thomas Crew. We're here with Brandon Karana and Matt Youssef, here to discuss the topic of the week. It's Holy Week. Mm-hmm. We're talking about Holy Week. It's, I know it doesn't feel like it for a lot of us because, we're not at the church. We're not where we want to be, where we're supposed to be. We all want to be at the church. We want to be, in adoration. We want to be doing all these things during Holy Week. Easter's coming up on Sunday. But, there's a quarantine. We got a lot going on right now. So Easter's still going to happen. Christ is still going to rise on Sunday. So, we got to get in that spirit. We got to get in that mood and get ready for Easter on Sunday. And Matt Youssef or Brandon Karana are here to help us get in that Easter mood today. They're going to be here to talk with us about Holy Week. Brandon and Matt, thank you. We're glad to have you on the show. And we're going to start with Brandon today. Brandon, what does Holy Week mean to you? Let us know. Let my guests know what Holy Week means to you.
So, first off, I want to say thank you for having me on the show. This is my second time on here. Truly
highly
appreciate
requested
it.
Guest. Requested guest. Not more requested than Down the Edda, but you're highly requested.
Maybe one day I'll reach that status. But, Holy Week, not just to me, but to our church as a whole, is actually the most important week of our faith. Without Jesus dying on the cross, guys, and resurrecting from the dead, there would be no such thing as Christianity. There would be no such thing as Christmas and Easter. There would be no such thing as Rome, as the Vatican, as Pope Francis, as Cardinal, Patriarch Sacco. There would be no such thing. We wouldn't be going to a church every Sunday. Now we're not. Now we're taking things for granted. For me personally, I've been volunteering at the church for so many years. Honestly, there hasn't been. I was talking with Matt about this actually earlier. There hasn't been a Holy Week where we were not at the church for at least 5-6 days in the week. And I'm not talking like, go in the church 30 minutes and leave. I'm talking
straight chilling.
My mom calls me, Brandon, where are you? 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm at church. 12 o'clock at night. Brandon, where are you? Oh, Mom, I'm at the church. So for especially, I know I'm speaking for Matt and myself on this, but, when it comes to this Holy Week is sacred, guys. You really have to think about it, because what I will say is this. Like I just said, without Jesus Christ dying on the cross and without him resurrecting from the dead, there would be no such thing as Catholics. All of us would probably not have existed. God knows what would have happened. But with that being said, when you really realize in your faith that Jesus Christ died to save you, not just me, not just Omar, not just Matt, all of us, give us a second chance at life. There's this little proverb I saw, and we had, Satan is talking with God. And this was before Jesus Christ resurrected, and Satan kept saying, I'm just going to try and, bring everyone to hell, and damn everyone. But what really happened is, Well, that all changed when Jesus Christ died on the cross. He opened the gates of heaven for us. He gave us a chance at life. So for me, Holy Week is a time to, first of all, give thanks. Give thanks for the blessings that God has given us. Give thanks for the beauty of our church. Give thanks for our community, our family. And on top of that, also mourn, because Jesus Christ had to die for us. We would still be living our lives in damnation. We'd still be living our lives doing dumb things. End up, God knows where. So to me, Holy Week is just really a time of sitting with your thoughts and your prayers. And even though I know we're not at church right now, but the church is with us, The church is just a building. The church is in our hearts and our souls. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Brandon. I expected nothing less from you other than that fire that you just gave us right now. So thank you very much for that. Matt Yusuf, Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday just passed. Your favorite holiday. We weren't able to be at the church. We weren't able to go to Oak Park and see the Chamara come out and sing the song, but it's okay. It's okay. We still celebrated from our homes with our families. But Matt Yusuf, tell me, what does Holy Week mean to you? Talk a little bit about Palm Sunday as well, if you like. I know it's your favorite holiday.
So, yeah, like you said, you mentioned last week, you just mentioned today, Palm Sunday is probably my favorite Sunday in the entire year. I come to my home, the church, and I see that we have the whole thing decorated. Palms on the cross, palms on the aisleway, down to the altar. The kids in front of the procession while the priest and the servers go to the altar. Our hymns that we sing in the church is just an amazing, amazing day in our church. We're celebrating and commemorating our Lord coming into Jerusalem. We're celebrating him coming into the city and welcoming him. And as much as that is we're welcoming the God of the universe, he also took it upon himself to become humble and to come in on a donkey and fulfill the prophecy of the Old Testament. And so for me, I love, love, love Palm Sunday. And for me not to be at the church this year, it really took a toll on me. But at the same time, like Brandon mentioned earlier, and how you said earlier as well, the church is in our homes. I know we can't necessarily go to our home, the church, our second home, and if anything, our first home, and celebrate that there with Mass and with our brothers and sisters in Christ. We can do that within our own hearts and with our own families. The church has become in our hearts during this pandemic. And within this Palm Sunday, it's just, we had to be able to really reflect and say, am I accepting Jesus and celebrating him coming into my life and not just in general 2,000 years ago? Am I allowing him to come into my heart and come into my soul, change my heart, change my soul? And that's really what I've been trying to do this pandemic and going on throughout this whole Holy Week, is knowing that we have to prepare for the rising of Christ. We have to prepare for what we know to be Jesus's most amazing miracle that he's ever done, to show us that he's really God. And so in this Holy Week, we're like really preparing and really trying to bring ourselves into a deeper relationship with him, because we don't have that physical connection with the church. But we always have that spiritual connection. And I couldn't thank our priests and our bishop more than anything that they've been doing. Our adoration available at St. Thomas, the live stream of all the masses and all the talks that are available to us. And so it's really amazing to see what our church is doing in this Holy Week, and just being able to reflect on ourselves, what's going to go on during this Holy Week.
Well, thank you for that, Matt. That was really well put. Even though we're not all together, even though we're all praying and worshiping from different places, in our homes, but I think this is in the end, this is going to bring us all together when this is all over. It's going to make us a lot stronger. So,
Amen.
Matt, thank you for that. Appreciate the input. Matthew and Brandon, thank you for that. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll come right back.
Back, guys, to the second edition of Crew Top Plays. We got some crazy plays in store for you guys this week. Let's get it started. Welcome back, guys. In this first part, you got stuck.
Capture
Your
the
leader, Brandon
defensive
Carana.
We've got some
Playing with his Car 98 K sniper. That's the Stokey action.
Hardpoint contested. We're about to move. Got the hardpoint. Okay, hardpoint.
In this clip right here, we got Omar Calabat racing in the Daytona 500, repping the Brad Carmo, the Ford Mustang. The fastest out there. Let's see what he can do. In this third clip, we have a submission from Tyler Morogi, our 8th grade student at Crew. Do a little bit of sniping action. You're going to see him get all these headshots. Let's check it out.
Allied cruise missile launched.
And we're back. Thursday Night Live. Well, it's presented by Crew. We are back. So, I guess, Brandon, we'll go back to you here. So I just want to know, what is Holy Week? How do you go through Holy Week? How does, as a family, what are some things as a family you can do during Holy Week each day? Tell me something, Brandon.
So, what I will say is I'll try and give some advice because now we know we don't have the church to guide us. We're not going to Holy Thursday Mass. We're not going to Good Friday to visit churches. We're not going to the church to celebrate Easter Mass with an overflow church. What I will say is that we can make our homes our church. The way I would say about that is, one thing you guys have to realize is that there's a reason there's Lent before Holy Week. There's a reason there's fasting before Holy Week. Jesus fasted in the desert. He was tempted by the devil. It's one thing people tend to forget, before. And you think that Jesus didn't, as Matt said earlier, you think Jesus didn't go into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday knowing his fate? He knew well that he was going to die on the cross for us. So with that being said, what I would say is, what I think I'm going to try and do, and what I would suggest for you guys to do as well is, we have Good Friday coming up. I would say sit down with your family, pray and meditate over the Stations of the Cross. Think about the path that Jesus took. There's actually something online. We will probably be posting it later on our Instagram, kind of showing you the times of the day where Jesus could have been fulfilling this station, fulfilling that station.
Wow.
And one thing, too, that I think is very important was to kind of get us a visual, too, of what went on, So with that being said, I'm going to have your IT man, Jeremy Guevara. He's going to put up this little clip right now from the Passion of the Christ, and we're going to watch a few scenes from it.
Okay. Jeremy, can you cue that? Jeremy! I don't know what to do with this guy.
It's okay. Give him a second.
Anyway, we'll get it up there.
now you guys watch this clip, and you kind of got a visual of all the suffering that Jesus Christ went to for us. So this is a time to meditate. This is a time to, in a sense, resurrect in your faith. In a sense, grow deeper in your faith, kind of how Matt said while in quarantine. That's my take. Spend time, watch these live streams of the Holy Week that all the churches are going to be posting online with your families. Dive deeper, pray more. Thank God for your blessings. That's kind of my take on it.
Brandon, very well put. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you providing us with that clip as well. Jeremy, good job putting that on, even though there was a slight delay. Jeremy Gabara, my assistant. Anyway, Matt Youssef, anything to add on to that? What something maybe your family does during Holy Week, or give us anything, Matt.
Yeah, so a big aspect of Holy Week, for me personally and for my family and a bunch of my friends as well, I think I can speak for Brandon as well. He said earlier, we spend a lot of time at the church during this week. I know me personally on Holy Thursday, I spend the time at night in the church preparing for Easter Sunday and meditating, because Holy Thursday, as everyone always knows, as the day that Jesus insinuated the Eucharist for the Catholic Church, and saying that we had the Last Supper that day, but later on in the day, we tend to forget sometimes that is the day that Jesus had the agony in the garden, where his disciples fell asleep and didn't wait with him and pray with him. So I kind of take it upon ourselves. A few churches do the meditations, but we kind of take it upon ourselves to go into those meditations as well on Holy Thursday. So something for me that I kind of want to challenge everyone to do is on Holy Thursday, so that's today actually, take an hour and silence with Jesus. You and your family, or you on your own, kind of read the Bible, meditate on the agony in the garden, meditate on how serious it was for Jesus, because he may have not felt any physical pain from someone else, like whipping him or hitting him on Holy Thursday. Of course, he experienced that on Friday, as we all know, as Good Friday, where he suffered and died on the cross. But on Holy Thursday in the garden, he was in such anguish that he was sweating blood because of the pain of our sins, of the pain of his stress, that he knew what was about to happen for him. So us as children of God and not being able to go and visit him in the church is taking an hour at least out of our day tonight to allow Jesus to become, to pray with him, just to sit with him. I know in the Bible he said, he asked them to pray with him as he went to go pray on his own, and he came back and they were sleeping. Are we sleeping as well, is the question. Are we going to be able to stay awake with Jesus? Or the next day, are we going to be like Peter? Are we going to deny Jesus 3 times as he's getting persecuted? Are we going to be able to stand there and say, this is my Lord, this is my God. He died on the cross for me. He's suffering because of my sins. And so we kind of have to go through this Holy Week, placing ourselves in the place of the people at the time of Jesus. Place yourself in the place of the disciples. Place yourself in the place of the people. Are we acting like a Pharisee, or are we acting like one of his disciples? Are we acting like John, who stood there all the way till the end at the cross? Are we putting ourselves in Mary's shoes and seeing how Mary experienced the suffering and the agony of seeing her son on a cross? Are we going to sit in fear in the upper room on Saturday and hide away from the world and succumb to them persecuting our church? Or are we going to stand firm and say, this is my Lord, this is my God? We're celebrating him resurrecting from the dead, and just being with your family on Easter Sunday, praying with them, attending Mass on the live streams, just things you can do at home to really understand what Jesus has done. Just because we can't tangibly go to Mass, because we can't go see Jesus in the Eucharist, doesn't mean that he's not with us and in our hearts and in our homes.
Wow, Matt Youssef. That was very, very well put. And I really like that point you made. You know, what are we going to be during Holy Week? Are we going to be the Pharisees, or are we going to be disciples like John that stood by Jesus? Or are we like disciples that, you know, like Peter, denying him 3 times? So,
Can I
you know,
add
what are
something
we
in there,
gonna be?
guys?
Go ahead.
One thing that Mac did say, but one thing to keep in mind, guys, that Jesus is also 100% divine and 100% man. When he was in the garden, you know, the Garden of Gethsemane, you know what he said to God? He said, "Please let this cup of suffering pass over me." You know what that means? That he was scared. He was nervous.
Yeah.
He knew what had to be done. So that's
Yep.
also another perspective that you could take into your Holy Week meditations as well. That even Jesus Christ himself asked for this suffering to be passed over him. He's God. He could have done this, and he could have been in the Bahamas chilling on the ocean, you know. But instead, he took this cross and he took the suffering. He died for our sins.
Well, thank you, BK, for that addition there. That was a good point right there. So, just Brandon and Matt, I appreciate all the information that you guys just came and all the wisdom that you guys just brought to me and my guests. So, thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. Look forward to having you guys on again. You guys are both highly requested. But Dom Etta, the people are just screaming for this guy. I don't know what's going on, so I might have Dom Etta on again soon. But anyway, great job, Brandon and Matthew. And my assistant Jeremy did a very good job today as well. Even though he delayed Hussa,
He's got that season. He's got that episode 3 of Hillbilly Dilly, right? He promised us.
What are you nuts? Hillbilly Dilly, of course. Every week we got some Hillbilly Dilly. We got some fire Hillbilly Dilly coming up right now. Okay, guys. So enjoy Hillbilly Dilly, and hey, happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Thank you for having us on, Mario.
Thank you for having us on the show.
No
Happy
problem.
Easter
Hey,
to
anytime.
the squad
Anytime. Come back
and the
anytime.
family.
Come back anytime.
Signing out.
Edit it out.
I didn't know.
Hey, Hillbilly dude, what you doing there?
I'm just trying to find me something to eat. Don't mind me.
Oh, well, your viewers got you something.
Oh, does this come from the crew kids?
Yeah, it comes from all the crew kids. They got you a little gift.
I can't trust it. What do they do to it?
No, I promise it's good. It's Angel Soft.
Kind of came a little too late. I asked for this last week.
What do you mean it came through? I noticed you're in a different truck, it looks like.
Yeah, well, you see here, you were a little late last week and I had a little accident. I ordered a new seat. It'll come next week, so I'll be out of your hair pretty soon.
Yeah, because this is my truck. What? You had an accident?
I don't want to talk about that. What I do want to talk about is how nice I like this truck. Heated steering wheel, you know? I got this big Ram to show myself how manly I am, you know? It's got a V8 too, so it ain't going wrong there. I don't know. Ain't much go wrong with the Ram truck.
So, Hillbilly, what you been up to? Did you find something anywhere? Did you find something?
Dang.
What?
That was lunch, but it got away. Last night I spotted something in the air, and I made it come down. Let's just say.
Oh, really?
It did a crash landing.
What was it? A nice kind of bird or something?
No, it was a bat.
A bat?
Yeah.
What do you mean a bat?
I'm telling you, those Chinese, they got something good going on there.
Dude, you know that's how that whole Corona thing started, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to kill Corona. To be honest, I don't like living in my car. You know that whole Governor Witchmer, I don't know, whatever they call her. They said she's gonna extend it like 3 more weeks. What the? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll get rid of all these bats. I'll end it before she does. Don't look like she's up much.
Well, Hillbilly, I don't think that's how you end coronavirus. But you got any last minute words to your viewers?
Listen to me. I haven't been telling the truth lately. I've taken out about 100. They're sitting in the back of your truck. I'll make sure to clean it later. But, yeah. I'm gonna end this coronavirus whether Whichmore likes it or not. Yeah. So, listen. Let's change the subject for 1 second. I haven't seen anyone try to defeat my water bottle challenge, so go ahead and try that after the video. Only if you're a trained professional. And yeah, Batman, I'm coming for you.
Hello?
Oh, you recording? Well, yeah, I think that's it for this week. I'll see you boys next week. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell button so you can get notifications the next time we post. Hillbilly Deal signing off. I'll see y'all next week. Yee!